Alright guys, I've been filming literally all day. I've been here, there, so I'm starving. I'm having some banana chips. If you're island gal like me, y'all know what's up. So, hey besties, welcome back to my channel. JavellAshanti here. It is currently June 30th, which means tomorrow is the 1st of July. And I cannot believe it's already July. Like, that is crazy to me. I feel like time's flying. I don't know if it's because I'm working my ass off and I'm at work every day, but I can't keep up with the days. It's going by too fast. But we are here today because we have a reading wrap-up for the month of July. I have not been hitting my monthly reading wrap-ups this year because I work too much, okay? In some months, I just don't have enough to review, to talk about that month, so I'll just skip it. And also, I just can't keep up with filming. But I read a few books this month. I also am officially a Kindle girly, so I've been reading on my Kindle, but I'm also still a physical copy book girl at heart. So I do have a few physical copies here I want to talk about. Wait, did I already introduce myself? I don't know. My name is JavellAshanti. Y'all know I make book content. I also have a few lifestyle content videos here and there, but I'm mainly a book content girly. If you are looking for somebody who loves talking about books, someone who's a professional yapper, hello. Well, I read so many good books. You guys know I'm a romance girly through my core, so we have a few romance, some psychological thrillers here and there. So let's get into the video. So first we're going to talk about The Teacher by McFadden. This is a psychological thriller. This book is insane. It starts with a girl who, she has been in some drama the previous year. Now it fast forward to the next year, and she got a teacher fired because she had an inappropriate relationship with a teacher. Now she's in this class with another teacher. However, this is a female teacher, but that said female teacher, her husband also teaches at the school. Now this troubled teen is also in her husband's class. It starts a little bit of weird friction, and we're stuck trying to figure out who's the real villain in this story. Now I co-read this book with one of my friends. We are very unserious people, so we could not take this book serious. It's quite crazy. I love McFadden because I personally I can never figure out her plot twist. I don't know if it's because I just don't read enough psychological thrillers, but I could just never know where it's gonna go. So I enjoy her books so much. They're so captivating, and she never puts me in a reading slump. She's really good. I love her. I'm going to talk about This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I love this woman. She's one of my favorite authors. She's definitely in my top 5. All her characters are minorities, I guess. Her covers are always super stunning. This is part 2 in Before I Let Go. So this one is This Could Be Us. And it is about a girl who she's going through a divorce with her husband who cheated on her, and she meets this other guy, and he's super charming and nice. However, she is so jaded from her last relationship. She just doesn't really know where to go. Plus, the guy that she met that she really likes, he's the one who put her husband behind bars. Crazy. So I would rate this book a 5-star. I love Kennedy Ryan. Her books are so captivating and fun, and they're just great. They're just great. I love her. Book that I read on my Kindle is from the Dreamland Billionaire series. I read book 1, which is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, I believe. And this book is so good. The entire series is a pretty thick series, so I'm a little bit hesitant about reading it, but they're so good that I want to read them all. Basically, the entire series is about a grandfather who leaves a will for his grandsons. Except the grandfather is like super wealthy, and in his will he writes that they have to complete different tasks. So all 3 grandsons, they have a different task they have to complete in order to get their inheritance, whether that's inheriting the company or money or whatever it is. They have to complete these tasks. Now this book is about one of the grandsons, and he's supposed to complete a specific task. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, he created a fake account to get close to a girl who works at the amusement park that the grandfather owned, and it created a whole thing. He's super grumpy though, which I love, characters who are super grumpy, super macho, but angry all the time, but then they're soft for the particular girl, and that's kind of what we get in here. It was such a cute book. I would give it a 5-star. I also started the second book, which I believe is Terms and Conditions. Haven't finished yet, so stay tuned for my July reading wrap up because it will be in that. But I really like this book. I really like the writing style, and I don't know, it's just like a fun little romance read. Like, I love billionaire romance. I know it's like so unrealistic, but we don't read romance for realism. We read it for like the fact that we're delusional. Next book I read is by Penelope Douglas, which I took a break from reading Penelope Douglas's books because I feel like they're just like kind of like morally gray, I guess. But I finally read Birthday Girl by her, and this book looked like I put it through the ringer because I would work out while reading this book. So it's all bent up and ripped up, but Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, this book is about a girl and a guy who goes to live with his dad because they've gotten kicked out of their apartment because the son is out of control. So they go and live with his dad. However, the girlfriend and the dad have like a very strange connection, like they're really attracted to each other. It's kind of taboo, and a lot of times I felt really weird about reading this book, but I know a lot of people like it. Personally, I just felt, at the beginning I felt weird about it, but then after a while I kind of like understood, I guess. But overall it was still like pretty good. Personally, I wouldn't read this again, and I wouldn't recommend this to a friend, but if you are okay with like morally gray like plot lines, it might be a good book for you. I did like the female main character. I also like the male main character. Like, they both tried to not feel how they felt, but it was just like, I don't know, it's just a weird plot. Okay? Next book is by Freida McFadden. This is Never Lie by her. I definitely feel like this is such a good book to read during the winter. It's like super cozy, but like you also get a little bit scared because you're not sure what's going on or what's going to happen. This book is about a couple who go to look at a home because they're in the market of buying a new home. They go and look for a home, except they go in a snowstorm and they get snowed in there. Except when they get there, they figure somebody's living in the house. Plus the home is owned by a therapist who was murdered, and so it's like super spooky there. Somebody's also there who's not supposed to be there because this home is supposed to be an empty house, and it gets really spooky. Now they're trying to figure out what's going on here. It's a lot of back and forth. It's not a super big book, but when I tell you it takes you on a emotional roller coaster, I feel like Freida McFadden is the best at roller coaster plot lines, but they all make sense in the end. She's so good. I think she's a phenomenal author, and I definitely recommend if you like psychological thrillers. This was a 5-star read for me. I'm sorry. This is so good, and I feel like this is great if you read it during the winter just because it's like snowstorm themed. It's also like spooky, or like even the fall. I don't know, it's great. Another book I read is by one of my favorite authors. It is Christina Lauren. It is the Soulmate Equation by her. I love Christina Lauren. This book is about a app that gets developed, and you gotta do like a weird blood test thingy, and you get matched with somebody who has 99% or like 100% match to you, and the whole theory is that like this is your perfect match. And so the main character, she gets matched to this guy who she just so happens to hate. However, she's going through some financial trouble, and if she goes through the trial of dating this guy to see if they work out, she will get paid a huge lump sum. Plus she has a child, so she's trying to take care of her child. We get their story. She doesn't like him. He also is like very indifferent to her, and we get their story, the whole experiment in here. I really like this book. I love anything by Christina Lauren, honestly. I would rate it maybe like a 4.5 stars just because I don't want everything in here to be 5 stars. Okay, but I rate it maybe 4.5 stars or even 4 stars. I don't know, I think it's so cute. Plus I love anything sciencey because I'm a science girl to my core. So I love anything with like science, chemistry, not physics, but anything sciencey like that I think is really cool. So I really like this book. Lastly, the last book that I just finished today, The Things We Leave Unfinished by my favorite Rebecca Yarros. Now, I know Rebecca Yarros is known for all her other books, but let me tell you, this woman is phenomenal. I love all her little romance books, honestly. I think all of them so far has made me cry. I really like this book. It tells a story of basically a grandma who's an author, but she died, and she left like a unfinished manuscript, and so her granddaughter, who's the one who kind of inherited all her stuff, she gets a author to finish writing it. However, she doesn't really like the author that much, and she's also trying to do right by her grandmother because she wants it to be done the way she wanted it to be done. However, they have like a weird little chemistry going on, and they don't like each other. Well, she doesn't like him, but he is like falling in love with her. I don't know, it's a lot. So they're trying to get the manuscript finished to the best of their ability, and it does like a back and forth. So it tells the grandma and her romance going on, plus her grandmother was living during the time of, I think it's like World War I or World War II. I think it's World War II. Her grandmother was living through that time, and we're getting her romance story with her husband, and then we're getting the present moment with the granddaughter and the guy who's writing or finishing the manuscript or finishing the book. So we get two little stories. They're both incredibly heartbreaking. The grandma story, I cried, and I feel like I say this all the time in my book reviews. If I've cried reading a book, it's a 5-star. It's automatic 5-star. So I did cry during this book. This is like my 3rd book by her that made me cry. I really like this book. It's everything, and I see why this book is so hyped up. Like, everyone likes this book. It's so good. It's such a heartbreaking story. It's just incredible. So 5 stars over here. And I believe that is all. Wait, let me check my Goodreads. Last book I read for the month is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Now, if you watch any of my book videos, you know I'm not the biggest Emily Henry fan, but this book I actually listen on audio because I feel like when I'm reading Emily Henry, she does not give. It does not give. And I actually really like this book because I think it's because I listen on audio, but this book I read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and it is about a girl who is about to get married. And the night before her wedding, at her bachelorette, or at her husband's bachelor party, he gets with his female best friend, and he comes home to her and tell her, we're not getting married tomorrow. So they broke up. Now the best friend moves in with her husband, and she had to move in with the best friend's ex. Now they really get to like each other because of close proximity, but also the ex is just a really chill guy. It's the whole thing. And she decides that she's gonna move out of that state because she moved there because of the ex-fiance. And he tells her, no, don't leave. I'm gonna take you on these adventures, and then at the end of the summer you decide whether you want to leave or stay. So we go on that whole journey with them. I actually really like this book. I think it's the best book that Emily Henry has written. Now, if I read this book, would I have the same opinion? I don't know, but I'm usually not the biggest Emily Henry fan. I feel like her books just never hit the nail for me, ever. And I actually like this book, so I would rate it a 4-star. I will let Emily Henry live for another summer, okay? And that is pretty much all I have for my July reading wrap-up. Please leave a comment below. What's your favorite book you read this month? What's your next book that you're planning on reading in July? And if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, bestie.
Ooh, I'm gonna pull up study to the side. She keep coming at me every day and night. When I left in my life started feeling right.